It's the middle of fall and the color is amazing. In the spring and summer, you get beautiful color blooms, but in the fall, it's like the leaves act like blooms and they are more muted. There's just something very magical about fall. The feeling that you get that, I don't know, just feeds our eyes, basically our senses. I can't really smell it, but I'm pretty sure some people can smell it's just the scent of fall. But what I can see are the beautiful colors. It just gives our eyes that nice rest, how everything just makes me feel, and I know that it makes you feel too. It's just at peace. As far as hearing goes, I can hear the subtle falling of the leaves, which I just heard, and you can hear birds chirping all about. So it's just a beautiful time of the season to enjoy nature. What I would like to do is capture the different garden spaces and highlights some of the beautiful fall interest plants for you. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, let's start with this front area first. That Japanese maple is a stunner, right? In my garden here, you know fall has finally arrived when this Japanese maple looks like this. This was the original Japanese maple to this house, so I do not know the variety, but this is the one that changes color every season. So purplish, reddish in the spring, green in the summer, and in the fall, it fades to more of a yellow color, together with a touch of green and some yellow, and now orange. You get an overall orangey color like this. This is called an Arborvitae fern. It has spread. This is its second year here, I believe. Look at how beautiful the foliage is. Nice, beautiful fall interest foliage. This is the most front bed area with 3 ornamental cherries. Don't you just love fallen leaves like that? I apologize if the light is very bright. It's around 10 o'clock right now in the morning. Hydrangea tardiva. Look how beautiful these are. Are these calyxes? I don't know flower parts really well. If you do know, please let me know. Look at how beautiful that is. Just imagine this in a vase. I never noticed that. So pretty. And look at the fall color leaves. That's an oak leaf hydrangea right there. That is ruby slippers, that small one. Native azalea, beautiful burgundy-like color. And now we come to these Semi's Beauty oak leaf hydrangeas. Another reason to have oak leaf hydrangeas in your garden, because they do give fall-like color. Little lime hydrangeas. The hydrangeas, they are definitely giving 4 seasons of interest. Don't you agree? And now we come to this early wonder Camellia Japonica. The only Japonica that is blooming right now in this garden. Let's give you an overview of this space here. If you watched one of the recent videos, you saw that I redesigned this space right here. And at the end, I showed you a before and after of that space right there. This lemongrass is giving a beautiful fall interest right now. Look at the muted color. Behind it is the native azalea. That's Admiral Semi's native azalea. This is, I believe this is a blood good Japanese maple. I do not know for sure because the tag did not say it, but I'm pretty sure it is. And look at that beautiful annual zinnia. This was planted late in the season and it is not disappointing at all. Let's look at this part of the garden more closely. I am so impressed with this annual basil. Look at that. It is giving fall interest with the seed heads looking like this, with the Japanese maple in the background there. Another plant that I have been impressed with this year is this Dahlia motto. It just kept blooming and blooming. It only stopped when it got really cold. And look at the leaves. They are still looking really good. With the other dahlias that I have, the leaves don't always look very clean. But this is the cleanest that I have ever seen in a dahlia, and this dahlia gets really tall. That's got to be one of my favorite plants this year. Rose Creek Abelia never disappoints. Now let us look at the containers at the entryway here. Let's look at this weeping type of Japanese maple. This is the Acer palmatum dissectum viridis. So it stays green in the spring, in the summer, and then in the fall it turns into beautiful yellow color, and of course it turns into brown, and eventually the leaves fall off. Let's look at this container area. Look at how beautiful the color is. Not disappointing at all as a fall interest plant. Here's another part of the garden in the front. All right, next we come to this part of the garden. Beautiful fall interest bloom heads. The foliage will look like this and eventually will turn dark, like the bloom heads will turn like this right here into a darker color like that. Here's another one. What is also interesting is this Thai basil. Look at that, look at that. It is giving beautiful fall interest with the autumn joy sedum in the background there. So you have purple, and then you also have this brownish, yellowish, maybe a little bit of orange too. Look at that. Does it not look like fall interest to you? I would highly recommend using Thai basil as an ornamental interest. What's doing that are these long plumes or seed heads. I don't know how you would say it, but anyway, I think you know what I mean. Just point. That's what my husband would say. If you don't know, just point to it. They know what you mean. There you go. I think you know what I'm referring to. And the pollinators do love the blooms on all of the basils. Look at that. Doesn't that look so magical? It is so cool. If this doesn't look like magic, I don't know what is. Oh my goodness. Look at how the light captures all of these. Wait, I forgot. I forgot about you, Guy. So this is a sedum. I don't know what the name of it is. It wasn't labeled. Look at that. It went from yellowish, greenish during the growing season, like this right here, where my pointy finger is. And now look at all of it. A nice fall interest foliage. Very beautiful. I just love it. Just imagine a mound, like a big drift of it. Wouldn't that be so nice? So I'm looking forward to seeing this plant take off. Now we are entering into the pollinator garden, the main pollinator garden that is. Let me give you an overview of this pollinator slash slope garden area. A lot of the plants here are perennials or annuals. That is Coreopsis. I didn't want to cut these back because they just look so interesting. I mean, they're dark, but not in a yucky or, I don't know, or not interesting kind of way. And now with some of the yellow foliage that have turned into orange-like color, I don't know. They just look so beautiful and give this fall interest look right now. Look at that. There's just something about the wispiness of the foliage and the dark color of it. I also did not prune back the Zinnia elegans here because they are still giving structural interest here. They're not like leaning or just doing something that are not aesthetically pleasing, at least in my eye. I know that everybody is different. Every gardener is different. We have the Gauras here. They're still giving some fall interest. I just think everything just looks super cool. Here's another look from this angle. All right, now we come to the Hillside Garden. Let's give you an overview. In my garden, this is one of the standout plants right now because it is blooming in the fall. So these are the beautiful plumes. I just call them all bloom heads. So you know what I'm talking about. There they are. The blueberry foliage is giving some fall interest right now. I will take it. Thank you very much. All right, let's come this way. Though it is not giving that fall interest color, but it is a fall blooming camellia. This is Camellia sesangua. This is the pink perflection. I think this is part of the October Magic series. But when it gets like this, it is more of a fall interest. And the reason it looks more fall interest is because of the muted color. So this plant blooms in the fall, but has more of a spring, delicate spring-like color. There's one. There's another one right there. What I find interesting, and I think it may be a flaw in this plant, is that there are no blooms at the top. It's just foliage. But then you get blooms that are at the bottom. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it just needs some time for the buds to be up on top too. I guess we'll have to see. So if you live in the south, you can't go wrong with a Camellia sesangua. There's the last one right there. Forgot to do that. Let me give you an overview of this space up here. And we'll go on this side. Let's give you an overview of this area, the bridge garden area, and the woodland area as well. I can hear the beautiful birds singing too. It makes it so nice. The background, ginormous trees up above. They are beautiful as well. Some are giving fall interest. Let's show you those as well from this angle. All right, I am so bad. I forget about this Japanese Magnolia. It is also giving fall interest, although the foliage don't look very clean. But nevertheless, they're giving fall interest. Look at that. Not as clean, but from far away, the color is beautiful. This is a coral bark Japanese maple. You can see, oh, look at the leaves. They are coming down from this acorn tree. Hopefully one of the acorns is not going to fall on me, like right on top of my head. I love this acorn tree for the small foliage because they immediately just turn into mulch. Look at that, see? It covers the leaves cover the area really well. All right, let's get back to talking about this Japanese maple. All right, so all the new ones will turn into reddish in color. That's why they call it coral bark. The older, like for example, you're not going to see it with the older branches, as far as I can tell. Just the new branches. Like yeah, even this, like the stems, you don't see that. Oh, there you go. You can see that really well. You see that? All of the beautiful coral bark of the branches, the smaller branches, the small lateral branches. All right, so that is Fairy Blush Magnolia. I keep wanting to say Camellia. This is a Magnolia, and you can see it is giving off fall interest as well with the foliage. This is another Japanese Magnolia, same as the one that was shown to you earlier, the bigger one. And the leaves are not clean, but they are giving fall interest from afar. All right, we'll have to talk about the Edgeworthia right there because it is one of the plants that I do talk about. You can see it is giving some fall interest right now. By the time all the leaves have fallen off, we should see the buds a lot bigger, or just bigger. You can see how big they have gotten from the last time I showed you this plant. Lots of buds right now. Let's give you an overview. Beautiful fall leaves. If you're wondering, our property line is over there. So those two structures belong to our neighbors. Nothing interesting. All the leaves have fallen off of this Japanese Magnolia, which gives yellow blooms. But just wanted to document this for you. And then next to it is the Angel White Lilac. That one is not doing so good, and I think most of it is that location. I don't know what it is about that location, but all of the plants have been put in there have struggled. So I need to find a plant that I know is bulletproof and can go in that area. I don't know what it is about that particular spot. I even moved it a little farther up and it's still not doing good. All right, let's give you an overview of this area. I never discussed it, but this Arborvitae got attacked by bagworms. So I had to treat it So hopefully it will bounce back and all of the bagworms have died. See, it just doesn't look too good at all. It was kind of like this one right here. So anyway, you can see that there is a setback on it. I don't know how long this video has been already. I apologize if it's too long. You can just skip to the interesting parts. Now I try to do chapters for you, so if you're not interested in a particular section, you can skip to another section. All the chapters, if you click on the description section of the video, you'll see it. All right, so a standout plant in this space gotta be this Camellia Sasanka right here. I do not know the variety. It's a white blooming kind, you can see, with yellow center and white petals. The outer petals have some pink to them. So again, if you're in the south, you cannot go wrong with a Camellia Sasanka. It blooms very reliably for us before we get our freezes. It's kind of fun to just kind of squeeze in, and then it gets bigger, and then you're like, voila, there's a garden here. Again, look at that autumn joy sedum. Look at how beautiful that is with also the Gaura in the background. That Gaura is still looking beautiful. Look at that. I don't know why these two Gauras are looking fall-like compared to the other ones. They're more on the brown side. But look at this. I think it's more protected by these Arborvitaes, or this Arborvitae, just one right here. So I have no idea. Or it bloomed a lot later, which I think that's probably the better reason. You can see that there are still some blooms. So this is what I imagine a fall Gaura would look like. Isn't that so cool? You can see it is harmonizing very well with the autumn joy sedum. Cutleaf coneflower. Still looking beautiful and giving fall-like interest with the foliage and the seed heads, together with the iris foliage and daylily foliage. All right, let's give you an overview of this edible section of the garden. Look at this. The peppers, more kind of like winter interest to me, except for these guys. More like fall interest. They look more muted. A lot of things are still looking so good right now. Still very green. And look at this okra, how tall it is. It is not really growing anymore, end of its season, end of its life cycle. Just give you an overview of the orchard area, my mini orchard area. Here's a view from this side. And the view from this side. I love it. I love the view from this side, always. I guess it's maybe the time of the day that this gets filmed. But look at that, still beautiful, still green. All right, let's give you The last area of this garden, Japanese maple right there. It is doing so good. This was transplanted last fall, I believe. Another Acer palmatum dissectum. It's the weeping kind. The hedge of lemongrass with the narrow-leaf sunflower as the focal point. I had to prune off a lot of it back because the stems were leaning so much, like they did not look beautiful anymore. So I went ahead and just kept the stems that were still standing upright, or that are still standing upright and looking spectacular. Definitely more of a summer interest plant because of the rich, bright yellow, but not a bad feature for fall interest as well. And because it blooms in the fall, we have to consider it a fall flowering plant, just like the Camellias and the Muhly grass. And if you watched one of the videos I did on this Carolina sapphire cypress, it was repotted and it is doing really well. Beautiful. More of a winter interest plant, but I wanted to give you an update on that. Just some containers here that are ready to say goodbye. These two white ones were on the porch. We had some pressure washing done, and these had to be brought out. So I really need to redo all of the containers somehow. All right, and that is it for this mid-fall garden tour. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this mid-fall garden tour. I am so amazed, and I hope you are too, that a lot of the plants are still looking so vibrant, so beautiful. And with that being said, if not most of the plants, half of them will be in total shock come Monday, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we are expected to get freezing temperatures. And I think we're gonna get a frost on Sunday. The weather says on Sunday it's going to be 40 degrees, but I know that in actuality it's usually 2 degrees colder. So I'm thinking that it's going to be in the 38 degrees, and we're going to get maybe a little bit of frost. And Monday it's saying it's going to be 28, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be 26. The other days are going to be in the 20s as well. So I am not looking forward to that at all. But I have to remind myself, and we all have to remind ourselves, that it is fall. Some of the plants, you know, they're going to have to say goodbye, and we have to be okay with that. It's called the circle of life, and we get to enjoy them now, and we'll get to enjoy them later next season. But for now, they'll just have to make room for the other plants that are going to be thriving in the winter. So if you love this mid-fall garden tour, I hope you will come along when I share with you our end of the season, end of fall season garden tour as well. So with that, thank you again for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found some things that you saw helpful. And until my next video, I hope you take care. Bye for now.